Oh no. Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today, we have another live stream coming in. I'm not sure if I did something right on the software we're using for this live stream, so I hope it doesn't bail on me. But today's a really cool topic: dating sites and red flags, real breakup story. Someone sent their breakup story in for me to read today, and I'm going to unpack it. And it actually is about red flags. Also, when people meet someone on a dating site, I think you have to be more aware of the fact that this is a discovery mission. You don't know this person very well. You're attracted to them. And I don't know if you need to have your guard up necessarily, but you do need to have your radar up, if that makes sense. And this really has to do with experience and understanding where there are red flags, where there is smoke, there is fire. And this idea that, people come to me, we talk about your breakup, they go through it. The beauty of writing your story is you're like, oh shit, that was a red flag. See, if you just come to me and you're like, oh, they broke up with me, I don't understand why, they said they don't love me anymore. I can't give you any advice on that. I can't give you my take, because at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm lost. What happened? Well, we weren't getting along for a while. No, what happened? What's the story? So when you write out the story in sequence and we start going through it, someone will go, yeah, that was a red flag, looking back. And so what you want to do is you want to get to a point where you're dating, and let me see if I can get this right now. Because is everyone still on deck right now? I have a little technical difficulty here. No? Cancel. Excellent connection. Okay. When you're dating, you want to be able to real time. Does this make sense? Real time find the red flags. So you don't want to come to me and you're in a breakup situation and you go, oh shit, Mac, now I can see all the red flags. It happens all the time. Okay. I just did a live coaching session with a past client, past and current client that, he's worked with me probably 4 or 5 times over the last year and a half, 2 years, came to me out of a bad breakup, then came to me out of a situation where he was dating someone online. He had some questions. And then recently, it was really cool because we unpacked the situation today where the relationship didn't go well. It wasn't really a breakup, but he just identified some early red flags and just dusted it. Curtains. And so someone will be like, oh, but he didn't get a good woman or a good girlfriend or this or that, but he identified early on red flags and he was just like, done. And someone might go, oh, okay. But that's part of the process of meeting a good partner, is being able to eliminate entanglements with bad partners. Because I ended up with a narcissist. I ended up with a psychopath. I ended up with this. There was probably some hints or red flags looking back that you didn't really see, but now you're like, okay, that was clear. And so what was really nice today is when we unpacked this, he saw everything. So basically he went on a date, met this woman online, they hooked up, she had a death in her family, so he had to deal with that right away. Literally the day that they hung out and hooked up, she had a death in her family. So it was awkward. It was kind of a weird situation because she was really upset about it, which is understandable. And the way he handled it was, well, he's like, hey, look, I understand whatever you want from, like if you need my help or you want me just to be out of your way, that's fine. Contact me when, when the funeral's. He was aware of it. He was fine, but it was kind of an awkward start to things because the first time they hooked up, she got a call that her family member had passed away, which she expected because this person was in the hospital. But he handled that really well, offered to be there for her. And then later on, the woman claimed to be pregnant, which logistically, from what he told me, wasn't possible. So they had only been together maybe a few weeks, like a week prior, and she was already saying she lost it. So I'm not a doctor. I don't know the logistics of that. But it seemed pretty evident. He did his homework on it. It seems like it was a false cry for him to be with her. Anyhow, it was a dramatic, tough situation that he didn't believe was true, but he handled it very well. He was like, all right, look, he did his homework on it. It was done. Within days later, he's like, hey, look, he sent out a text. He's like, hey, I know it's been a tough month for you. If you want to talk, let me know. I'm here for you. Something very kind and upfront. And she was like, oh, it's not all about you. And he was like, what? And then he made another reference, to be there for her or to talk to her. And she made another comment that was kind of making him the bad guy or guilty. And I was so proud of him because this happens to a lot of guys. You get accused of something that's not true and you backpedal and you explain yourself. Then you're entangled in the net of, I'm not a bad guy, I'm a good guy. I'm sorry, did I offend you? I'm sorry, did I? And so immediately he identified this as, I didn't do anything wrong here, which is what, like, if you're in a situation and someone accuses you of something, is it true? Number two, do you feel guilty? Number three, did you do anything wrong? And so he checked himself really quick. He said, hey, look, I didn't mean anything about that. I didn't say anything about myself. You took this the wrong way, but okay. If you need to contact me in the future. He had a day to think about it, and then he just blocked her on everything. Now everyone's like, what? But what he did was he just eliminated a future toxic relationship, because how relationships start is how they end and how they flourish in the middle. So right for the first month, it was just drama. It was drama. There were some things that were faulty in her explanations for things. And I applaud him because instead of being involved in this, because they did have intimacy, they did hook up, she did, have high interest in him and whatnot, he was like, wait, abort the mission, I'm done. Lots of value in that. If you're going to use these dating sites, you don't really know these people. And so even if you date them for 3 months, the good old days, when I grew up or when my parents grew up, which part of it was the good old days and part of it wasn't, but you'd meet someone through work, you'd meet someone through school, you might even meet someone on a cold approach. But you at least, when you met someone on a cold approach, at least it was in person. These dating sites, number one, the picture lies sometimes because we have Photoshop. Number two, the description lies sometimes because people think they're better than they are sometimes, or they just make up shit. Number three, you got to be in someone's physical space. You got to be in their presence to really judge another human being at the end of the day, long term. And there's a lot of things in communication, verbal communication. I believe it's like 15% of communication. I think body language is 55% or something. I'll have to check that. Body language is very high. So you can get that in FaceTime, and tone counts. But isn't there something about being around someone face to face that's completely different? Wouldn't you agree out there on the live stream? I mean, if you've ever been walking, I do a lot of walking myself or hiking, and you come across a stray dog. Do you ever feel like, and the dog looks at you and you look at the dog and you just feel like this energy go down your back? Like, ooh, and the dog's hair stands up on the back? That's energy. There's something to that. I'm not a scientist, but there's also something to when you're around someone with eye contact and you're interacting where you're like, this really flows, that you just can't get, especially in text. FaceTime, you can't have those moments because I've had coaching sessions where you really feel each other's energy. But interaction in person wins the day every day. So where I'm going with all this is when you're primarily dealing with dating sites, and a lot of people are these days because of COVID or because of their jobs, and just because that's what people do now. That's everyone's on the internet all the time. There's no going around it. Some people go, "Oh, I hate dating." It is what it is, okay? But in another year or two, 90% or 80% of people will be using dating sites probably. And really, what it is people don't realize that the environments they live in are hard to find. Some of them are hard to find like-minded people. And I think it's convenient to use these dating sites because people, they're on their phone all the time. They're being directed to go to them. So instead of making dating sites the problem, just deal with it and know that when you're meeting someone, you don't know them as well as you would have known them if you went to college with them, or you met them at work, or you met them through a colleague or a friend, like the old school days, right? Grandma and grandpa never, there was no dating online stuff. They met somewhere. They met in school. Right? Parents are the same way. They met through friends. So the new generation, dating sites different. You're blindly meeting someone. And you got to be careful, especially women. You can't be just giving someone your address and stuff. I talked about that a couple days ago. But the other part of it is it can start out really good. There could be great intimacy, great attraction. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, what the hell happened to this person? You don't really know them. I mean, you met them online, you exchanged some texts, you hooked up, you had some drinks, you ate, you had some laughs, you kissed, whatever. You don't know them. You meet someone that you work with for, 6 months, 8 months, whatever, 3 months, and you decide to go out with them on a date. You kind of know them. You've kind of watched them from afar. You've interacted with them. Other people that you know have interacted with them. It's a little different. You kind of have a little bit of a grasp on their character, right? So I got a story that came in today, last night actually. And so if you want to send in your breakup story, send it into writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. And I will review it in a YouTube video just like this. Now I also have, I just missed it there. I also have a Discord right now. So if you guys want to join that, I don't know if Luna or Skinner, you guys want to join the Discord, but just anyone that's on my channel or likes my content, maybe this is something else that you want to be involved in. So it's an ongoing link. The link I think you can go straight to that link and it works anytime to that Discord, Coach Mac McCarthy. So I'll get into the story today. Like I said, if you want to send in your story to writemac.com, send it in. I'll give you my take in a YouTube video just like this. This person actually came to me from Instagram, and I'm finally getting into posting more things on Instagram and interacting more because I was a little gun shy of it. Because people from Facebook and Instagram, they'll send you a message and they'll be like, hey, I got a question about my breakup. She left me last week. Will she come back? It's like, what do you think I tell them, guys and gals? Please write your story in the right Mac. Oh, fine. Thanks for your help. It's like, are you that shallow and ignorant that I'm Nostradamus, that I can figure out your relationship with will they come back to me? What do I have to do to get them back? Can you share their story? Oh, just forget it then. So you get these interactions and it's kind of like, okay. But then like last night, this lady asked me some questions and stuff, and I go, well, here's my website. And she's like, okay, I sent my story in. For $25, I know not everyone has it. To me, if you can state your story and get it unpacked by someone like myself or another coach, I think it's a good start. It's a really good start rather than just asking these broad questions or going on YouTube channels and having your question answered 800 different times. Write your story out, folks. It helps. I've been doing this for a while. I don't know if other coaches have you write out your story, but I just know from the feedback of my clients, it really helps. It's actually therapeutic to write the story. So let's get into it. Luna, Skinner, Krista, welcome. Rob, always a pleasure. Guardian at the gate. Met a guy on a dating site in August this year. We are in our early 30s and dated for 3 months. All right, so she read on my website how to write this. She gave me a quick timestamp. She gave me age. This helps. We are in our early 30s, dated for 3 months. So if you dated for 3 months, that's not very long. That means you don't know this individual very well. We clicked straight away. he was in the process of moving to his mom's house. Mum, M-U-M, so that's usually Canadian or English, right? We usually say M-O-M for me. Place after having lived with a flatmate and was starting a new job and career. Okay, sounds good to me. He had left the family home at 16 and said his parents divorced on his 16th birthday. So this is probably a highly independent individual. Don't know a lot about what happened in the divorce, but someone that values taking care of themselves, that they've been on their own since 16, I would say. But he was moving to his mom's place. Okay. We went on really great and fun weekly dates. For example, various activities. He was consistent, and we spoke, messaged every day. He wasn't happy with his new job as it wasn't what he thought it was. I think he's had quite a bit of bad luck within the last few months. Okay, so this to me, like, I mean, there is such thing as just bad events, but you don't want to associate everything with luck, because a lot of times in my experience, bad luck has to do with momentum and beliefs and values and outlook. I've talked about this before. There's people in the world that you go, oh, this person's so lucky. It's not by accident usually. Winning the lottery is lucky, but you do have to buy the ticket and pick the numbers. What do I mean by that? The person on the sidelines that goes, oh, this person that won the lottery is so lucky, probably never bought a ticket in their life. A lot of the things that are bad luck, you can find some ounce of responsibility or accountability in those decisions or those things, and that's how you grow. For example, he had a motorbike accident coming home from work. He hurt his leg, but quickly didn't break anything, but had to rent a bike out in the meantime and made a claim. Okay, so he dealt with the problem. It happens. Motorbikes are dangerous. I drive one myself. Totally understand. After like 2 or 3 months at his job, he was eventually put on a furlough government scheme by his boss due to COVID, where he would be paid 80% of his wages whilst on leave from work. So I wouldn't say this is all bad luck in the fact that, first of all, COVID's hit everyone around the world in different ways. The fact that he's going to get 80% of his wages is nice. That's a silver lining, right? This caused him stress as he was worried that he may not have a job in the end, but seemed to try and stay positive and hopeful. In the meantime, he was applying for jobs online with no success. Well, it's a tough time. This isn't just bad luck. It's a tough time to find a job. He was beginning to find it stressful living in his mom's house. His sister was always over with the baby, and he would babysit often. Fast forward. Well, I mean, that's an admirable thing to help out your sister. I know my sister was a young mother. It was a privilege to take care of my niece. Fast forward, we had planned to meet one Friday evening for a meal, although he called me on that morning, December 4th, saying he was confused and doesn't know what to do. Feels unsettled as he spoke with his mate, who offered him a job abroad, which has opened up my eyes, and has to make a snapshot decision and is thinking to go ahead with it. So I would say that's not personal. That's timing and circumstances. He lost his job. This is an opportunity. You've only been dating for 3 months. Okay, so I wouldn't say this is personal. He further said that if he doesn't go abroad, then he may go back to contracting job and be working all over the country as he did in the past, and knows I want to settle down. So just going back, the fact that he left the family home at 16 and his parents were divorced, I mentioned he's probably a very independent person. He probably is willing to move if things get rough because he's done it before. So that's just something I just picked up right off the bat. And if he moved back in with his mom in his 30s, he probably wasn't wanting to stay there for a very long time. So you want to settle down, and he's willing to work all over the country. Not a good mix. And doesn't want to mess me about while he figures it out, but I can't keep on if there's maybe a chance I'm going to hurt you, as that's the last thing I want. Well, that's a responsible and honest thing to state in his situation. I give him credit. I said I understand, and ultimately just want him to be happy and do what he feels right for him. Good response, huh? He later texted me asking me how I am, and said sorry about this. It was hard to call to make, that he likes me, had a great time together, but he doesn't want to mess with me about, and couldn't just not say anything to me. He finished one of the messages with, "This is not goodbye, so please take care of yourself until the next time we meet, whenever that may be." I think this is responsible. I think he's being honest. I don't think it's personal, and I think he had a decision to make in his 30s that he feels like, I need a job right now, and I do not want to live with my mom for much longer. Everything seemed to be going really well and in the right direction naturally, and then poof, he came out with this. Dun 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 dun. I feel that he's told me the truth, but not the finer details, or maybe there is more to it, but wasn't able or want to express it. So here's a really interesting thing. You've only been together 3 months. You met online. So, of course, you're not going to maybe trust what this individual says, but maybe he is telling the truth. Maybe you don't want that to be true. Bottom line is he broke up. He did it with direct reasons that you're questioning, but it's the same result, right? So what do you want at this point? Because I don't think it's going to come back. Is this his way of indirectly saying that he is not available or ready for a relationship with explicitly saying it? I mean, if he's got a job abroad and he doesn't want to mess with you because he might be working all over the country, I think that that's a valid, honest reason to break up. Do you want to go from 3 months of having a really good time to going to let's talk on FaceTime for the next year? I thought it was responsible of him to do that. And if you don't believe him, that's a whole nother ball of wax. And the fact that after 3 months, you don't trust his words. He has texted me a few times since, wishing me a Merry Christmas, etc., asking how I am. Well, he did say this isn't bi. He's saying that I don't have a problem with you. It's timing and circumstances. I got to take this job. If he wanted to make this work, then wouldn't he have tried harder or worked with me to find some solution? So here you go, folks. Indirect approval. I'll read it from you. I said I understand and ultimately just want him to be happy and do what he feels is right for him. Those are your words. Now you're saying, well, why didn't he try harder? Well, he felt like you approved of the decision, despite the personal struggles. As I said earlier, if he moved out at 16, he didn't want to live at mom's house for very long. Number two, he doesn't have a job. He's worried about his job. He's in his 30s. It's important to have money to live. And he's got an opportunity to go abroad. And he said he had to make this decision, and he doesn't want to put you in the crosshairs or have to deal with the fact. That being said, you've only been together 3 months. I remember him previously saying in general conversation that he doesn't trust girls. That could be from his parents' divorce or anyone, in fact, and had been cheated on a lot. Red flag, red flag, red flag. So even if you're not even if you're the type to go, well, you can trust me, or I've never cheated before. The problem is if someone believes this about all women and has had experiences before, they're going to accuse you of doing the same and sabotage the relationship. They're going to be jealous. They're going to be controlling. And you're going to wonder why. In those kind of relationships, you can stay in them, but you're going to constantly explain yourself. So anyone, whether it's a man or woman that doesn't trust men or doesn't trust women, I've met people like this. Oh, all women cheat. Really? Why? Because it happened to you? Oh, well, my dad always cheated, and then I always cheated, and that's just how it is. No, that's just you. The danger in it, that's their model of the world, and they're going to make it true. So you evaded a bad relationship. I found this a bit of a red flag, considering it is a red flag. I'm a girl, and how this thinking would impact on his relationships with others, including me, although he didn't seem to see this as an issue when I asked him about this statement. Well, some people are oblivious to how strong generalized beliefs can hinder your relationship, and that will. I don't trust women. That means all women. That means if you do one thing, you can trigger him into believing that you did something wrong or you lied. What are your thoughts, coach? No pressure, of course, but ultimately I'm looking for a relationship. Well, there's your answer. You're looking for a relationship. You're looking to settle down. This guy's looking at moving abroad and working around the country. And he said to you, I don't want to mess you about. Like, in other words, I'm not in that mode right now. And by the way, if someone's going to enter into a established, strong, cemented relationship, they need a career or a job when they're in their 30s. And unless they have inheritance or whatever. But I was just talking to someone today earlier in a coaching, and we were talking about red flags. And I said, one of the things that you really got to ask people is, what do you do? What's your job? Now, it's not because you want to know how much money they make. It's, does the job sound interesting to you? Are they proud and privileged to do the job? Do they like what they do? It's really important, because their dissatisfaction with their job, their unhappiness with their job is going to bleed over into your relationship. They're going to talk about work. They're going to talk about what they don't like, and it's going to be a part of your relationship. Now, what's a cherry on top of the sundae is you meet someone, you're like, wow, that's really interesting. You're this, or if they have the same career as you, right? If they have a very similar, you're going to have great conversations, right? If they're in a similar, like, I seem to vibe really well with women that are nurses, teachers. I've been a teacher for years, so we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of the same values. Nurses are very similar in that way. They help people. They're in different situations. So does that mean that that's the only kind of person you can date? No. But I think that if you think like, oh, they have this kind of job that I don't really respect, it's not just that, do they respect themselves? Are they embarrassed about their job? Because then you're going to start a relationship at an uphill battle. But these blanket general beliefs of statements people will say, you really have to listen when actions speak louder than words, yes. But when people make statements, they're telling you how they view the world, and you're next. I don't trust women. Well, he can trust me. Well, he's going to find a reason to make that true. Or you're going to do something small that you don't think's untrusting, and he's going to make it untrusting. So these are the red flags. So I'll get into the live stream today. Please let me know of any red flags that you all see out there in dating sites. The number one, one that I would hammer home, if you're a woman especially, I'd say men too, because there's psycho women out there too. Don't give someone your address in the first few dates. Go meet somewhere outside in a public place. I've known people that have had bad experiences with that. And if someone wants to meet you at your house immediately, that's not a huge red flag. That's potential crime. So beware of that. And just like how they look at the world. People tell you how they look at things. If they talk a lot of shit about their job or their family, you're next. You're next. All right, let's get into the live stream here. We got 14 on deck, 15 on deck, 7 likes. Right on. Thanks for the donations. If you want to throw some money in my cap, I do appreciate it. If you don't, that's just fine too. There is a Discord link right here if you want to join my Discord. We got some people on the Discord from the live stream and people that like the channel. Please feel free to join. It's an ongoing chat. Okay, some people just joined right now. Right on. And you can post questions or you can post things. I might not read your stories or anything on that all the time, but I'm going to be taking a look at it regularly every day. So it's another way we can connect. I think it's a nice tool. Luna Martinez, I'm going to give you a Happy New Year early. Lala, Happy New Year. Rob IS, how you doing? You want to hear something crazy, Luna? I was just at a friend's birthday party, and he had it wasn't like a live band, but a group of family, Filipino family that was, 2 of them played guitar, 3 of them played guitar, and they sing really well. And they were singing Spanish songs. Guantanamera. And they did La Bamba with Richie Valens. It was excellent, man. I haven't heard music like that in a long time. Many people will ignore the red flags when they are the type that likes to fix others. Great point, Rob. I agree 1,000%. But it was like when I talked to this client that I had today, it's like he saw all the red flags, and the beautiful thing he did, he immediately aborted. Like, okay, I get it now. And you know what he did that was beautiful? And he told me, he's like, I watched a lot of your videos. He goes, it was in the back of my head. Okay. She accused him of thinking about himself when he wrote a text like, hey, just wanted to check in with you, see how you're doing. And she responded with something negative, and he goes, well, if you ever need to talk to me about anything or anything, I'm here for you. And she wrote back, well, it's not all about you. And he was just like, okay. Instead of explaining himself, instead of saying sorry, he said, okay, up to you what you want to believe. And then he thought about it for a day, and he just blocked her from every avenue. Now someone would be like, wow, he just eliminated what would have been a bad relationship up front. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. I was clapping. Hey, Rob, I just saw you somewhere else. Rob's a popular man. Hey, Mac, hope all is well. Did you do just a rapid fire red flag segment? No, I just read a story, actually, and I went through another story. I have probably talked about rapid red flags in another video out of the 900 I have. Happy New Year in advance, Skinner, yo, how about the Bobby Portis thing yesterday? You want to hear something funny, Skinner? Aleph and Danny, who helped me out. Danny's basically a research assistant, and he helps me out on the podcast here. And he chimes in. And Aleph does the film editing, and he chimes in on the podcast / live stream, whatever you want to call it. And they both looked up Bobby Portis' picture afterwards, and they were laughing. Yes. Physical in-person contact is superb to long distance. You need to be in person to experience the flow and energy between the two. You do. I'm sorry. If you're going to be in a long-term relationship, then you should have been in a physical in-person relationship first. You shouldn't be doing a long-distance relationship for a long period of time. And then, because then when you meet up, it might be awkward. Hey, Coach, I know you made a video about this topic but in the future, but I want to know your thoughts on this. No problem, Dion. What's your thoughts on dating someone who is dealing with an on and off again relationship with their ex? Know what you're getting into. Don't commit to them. Make sure that you're leaving the door open to date other people also. Don't be their sounding board to talk about their ex all the time. So if you become their breakup coach and they come to you for comfort and they're kind of playing in between the both of you, just know that you're next. So if you're ever in a relationship with that individual, she possibly could do the same thing to you, is what I would tell you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Really? Yeah, I agree. It's not just actions, though. If you really listen to people, and you'll connect the dots later, you really listen to them, you're like, oh, yeah. It's like an individual just told me recently that they were dating someone and they had the death in the family, and the person was like, if you weren't here right now, I'd probably break all the stuff in my house. So that person's telling you that in certain moments they can be very destructive when they're not happy. That might be a red flag. I understand that there's a lot of heart pain and soul pain when you lose someone in your family, but I don't go to breaking property. If someone said that to me, it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I was just joking. It'd be like, okay, that's a bit dark. Message automatically held for review, hidden by Coach Mac McCarthy. I didn't hide that message. I don't know how that happened. Message retracted. Yeah, Dayon Chestnut. Who is dealing with an on again, off again? Is if they're being honest and upfront, then you should just know what you're getting into. You're in a relationship with someone, and by the way, if it's an on again, off again relationship with their ex, I'm going to tell you this: if their ex takes them back or things work out, they'll probably pick their ex over you. Not always, but in my experience, in my current experience, as a breakup coach, I've had many times where people have been dating someone that monkey branched or they were a rebound, which I don't like using the word rebound because rebounds can work. People can go into a new relationship and it can work. But they'll go back to their ex. Why? Because it's familiar. It's someone that they shared a lot of time with. Sometimes they have kids with the ex. There's all kinds of other entanglements and things that they're tied to. So as long as you took it as a situation where you know what's up, and you don't look at it like do you want to compete with the ex? Is that something you want to do? Are you going to get in a fight over it? Is this person going to find out about you and then you're in a fight? I mean, I've had a situation like that when I was in my early 20s. There was a girl I dated that I worked with. We went out a couple times, and I immediately identified her as someone I didn't want to date long term, but she liked me a lot, and she was cute. But her ex-boyfriend, I don't want to say the guy was stalking, but he was lurking, and yeah, the guy showed up at work a few times, looked me up and down. Followed us out when we were on a date one time. She was like, oh yeah, he said he was watching us. I was like, I'm done. Like, we're not going to go out again. I didn't really have that much interest. I'm not going to get in a fight over this. It's like, this isn't someone, I've been with. We just started dating. I don't need drama in my life. I don't want to be on, I don't want to be a case on TV when I'm just dating someone I'm mildly interested in. There's too many fish in the sea, Dan. Those are some of the things that can come about. We got 17 on deck, 8 likes. Wow, this is actually a later time frame, and everyone's on deck. This is surprising to me a little bit. Like I said, if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the live stream. If you want to go to my Instagram, it's Coach Mac McCarthy at Instagram, if you want to join that. And writemac.com if you want to send your story. And I see a lot with people. They start to build a relationship with someone who's taken and get their surprise Pikachu face when the same happens to them. You're next. So just see how people, a really good gauge is how do people treat their friends, family, and colleagues. Especially like their best friends or their parents or their brothers and sisters. Because you're not necessarily, you're probably different because you're a lover. You have intimacy, so it's obviously a different relationship. But how do they deal with people that are close to them that they have conflicts with? Are they able to have some unconditional love? Are they able to believe in keeping the bond tight with their family no matter what? You'll learn a lot by seeing that. No, just understand from your perspective. I didn't have an issue about it. I went in no contact talking to someone else afterwards. Good on you, Dayon. Vampire realness? Why? Because it's so late, Rita? What if someone doesn't have any friends? Red flag. How do you know they don't have any friends? Did they say, I don't have any friends? That would be a red flag if you go on a date and someone goes, I don't have any friends. It depends on why they didn't have friends. I mean, how is that even judged? There are people out there that like identifying with, I'm an introvert, I don't like a lot of people around me, I'm an only child, I'm this. So does that mean if you introduce them to friends, they're going to be awkward and shy? I don't have a problem if someone doesn't have a lot of friends, but you should have a couple go-tos. Always. How does that even come up, Nick? Did the girl you're dating say, I don't have any friends? I mean, you wouldn't say in a date like, so do you have any friends? Just curious. I had an ex who had no friends and considered their siblings as their friends. Well, there you go. I know people like that are so close to their siblings and their family that they don't really have an outside life. How many siblings were there? Were they also highly religious? Just curious. Johnny, they were homeschooled. Were they highly religious also? She has a lot of guy friends, a red flag. Johnny Pinero, welcome. I don't think I've seen you on the live stream before. 7 siblings? What is this, an Amish family? Well, there you go. How did I guess that, Nick? People were like, how'd you know that? Because highly religious families usually keep their boundaries very thick and strong. I didn't necessarily know they were Catholic, but I just knew that they were probably in a strict, probably some kind of religion that their family followed really closely, and that's why they didn't go outside of that. Saying that, I grew up Catholic, and I had plenty of friends, and there was a lot of social events when I was a kid for catechism and stuff. Guy friends, that's an interesting one, Johnny, because I've had one girlfriend that was like that in my early 20s, and it just bugs you because it means she's a flirt. It probably means, that she's got some on the back burners, and that how does she interact with the guy friends, and how is she meeting them? So, like, if it's a product of her job that she works with a lot of guys, but that being said, there's so many guys that take the angle of being the friend, especially if your girlfriend's attractive or highly attractive, and if your girlfriend's highly attractive, and the guys that are like genuine friends, because I've talked about this before. I have women that are genuine friends of mine, and guys will meet me that are the boyfriend, and they know right away I'm a stand-up guy. I'll shake your hand, I'll look you in the eye, hey, how you doing? And they'll be like, oh, I'm Susie's boyfriend. Nice to meet you, man. And I'll have a chat with the way if a guy's a stand-up friend or has been their friend for a long time, they want to talk to you too. They want to consider you someone that they want to meet also. If the guy friend doesn't really want to talk to you and he wants to talk to her the whole time, no bueno. I've seen it before where you're like, the guy, like you're in the mall or something, and the guy's like, oh, hey, what's up? And your girlfriend's like, oh, hey, what's up? Da-da-da. And the guy's just talking to your girlfriend. He doesn't make any reference to fucking shake your hand or look you in the eye. Red flag. And then he kind of looks at you. It's like, then you're thinking, like, did you guys hook up before? If he's a real friend, he's got a stand-up way about him, he's going to shake your hand and go, hey, man, nice to meet you. My name's Mac. KKM. Hi, this is live. I'm doing long distance from Canada to America. Well, that could be many. Okay, have been talking to him for 10 months. Haven't met him yet. Hope one day will. What's your point? He said that he would call but didn't call, so I said no. Good night. Was that okay to say? He said that he would call but didn't call. So how old are you, KKM? Red flag. Lots of my guy friends, and is one of the guys type. I ponder this. Red flag. Lots of guy friends, is one of the guys type. I ponder this. I don't understand what you mean, Lindertube. I'm confused. Brand new Skinner. I just hung out with Jessica yesterday. She is outstanding. She's good. We'll get her on the mic again. How old are you, KK? I thought I was the only chick on his cell phone. Used to be, but now he's love bombing me. You're in your 30s? Used to be, but how he's love bombing me, my boyfriend. But one of his friends was like, "You have no play." What does that mean? The way you're writing, I don't know what it means. It's non-coherent. Can you take a few minutes to put together some decent sentences? How long have you been together, KK? What are you looking for? And why? You've been talking for 10 months long distance. Why are you talking to someone online long distance for 10 months? Is there no one available in Canada? Have you met in person yet? Interesting. Made all the more uncomfortable by making me imagine myself in a mall food court. Damn, I was going to guess she was young. Right? Just by the way you wrote everything. When you deal with a lot of people like myself, you get these, sometimes I'm wrong, but you get very intuitive about things, about situations. Doesn't mean you're always right. Intuition's not always correct. But it does sharpen up when you deal with more people and you have Like my sister was a 911 dispatcher. Her intuition on emergencies and people that looked like criminals or different things like that. I shouldn't say like profiling that way, but she had a different kind of intuition as a 911 dispatcher for years. With relationships and questions, I have a different kind. But I was wrong. I thought you were young, KK. But by the way, I'm in my late 30s, so. And I've been told by people they didn't think I was in my late 30s, which is a compliment. Luna Martinez, thank you so much. 1999, I appreciate you. I think my time has arrived, Mac. The new girl I've been seeing made it clear to me that she sees a future with me. We vibe so well in person. She's sweet, caring, responsible, hardworking, and very attractive. What else do you want, Luna? Damn, that's a nice description, bro. Sweet, caring, responsible, hardworking. Oh, and let me add, very attractive. Good for you, Luna. Don't mess it up. I'm just joking. What may I ask what her line of work is? I mean, those are great things to describe someone you're dating, dude. Good for you. Do not contact work on someone who decided to go back to their ex. Dude, I'm thinking you were saying, does no contact work on someone who decided to go back to their ex and it's on and off again relationship? Just wondering. Sure. What's your alternative? To chase someone and compete with their ex? Hell no. What's your alternative? To lose your dignity and your balls? That's not respectable or attractive. Oh, you're going to go see your ex again? Bye. Good luck. Wish you all the best. I'm capable of meeting someone else. You know what I mean? What's the alternative? Oh, if your things don't work out with your ex, the door's wide open and you can call me anytime. Weak. Oh, I'm sure she'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll call you anytime just in case Todd stops talking to me, you know, and he doesn't talk to me. You're going to be a great backup plan. Wow, man. No, I haven't met in real life, though. He's like kind of confusing me at the moment. Would sleep over, Skype together. You haven't met, but you sleep over? Goal is to go to America, get married one day. Wow. How are you thinking about marrying someone that you've known for 10 years online? I'm just curious. He's kind of a bad boy. So he has some records. So can't really come over to Canada for at least 10 years or so. Oh my goodness. Do you like drama? It makes me kind of like, I suppose, to do the guy job relationship-wise. I don't understand what that means. Do the guy job. Where's your buddy whose eyes probably popped out like Bobby Portis when you made him look up who Charles Manson is? It's good to have some people that don't know everything, right? Danny and Aleph are great because they're authentic and they're honest. That's why when I chime in with when I get them involved and I ask them a question, they'll be like, "No, I don't know what that is." If someone goes 10 months, not 10 years, it's still KK. Why aren't you pursuing a relationship that's present in the proper location? Or do you guys FaceTime regularly? If someone goes right back to their ex, at a bare minimum, they're going behind your back and building an inappropriate relationship. I mean, if your ex goes back, if your partner goes back to their ex, even let's just reframe this all. If you're in a relationship and someone starts a new relationship with someone else, it's done. You're done. Where's your respectability? Oh, I want to fight for them. Really? Someone that's been with you already, who threw you to the curb, basically said, sorry, but I got to go back. Oh, if things don't work out, where's your worth? Have some dignity. Look the word up. Have some self-respect. There's a client I knew a while back. He did this for a year. She went back to her ex. She came back to him. She went back to her ex. She came back to him. And then she'd be like, oh, my ex does this better, but you do this better. Wow, that's really convenient. Laugh out loud. Oh, I wish I could find someone around here, but I'm super curious if I'm able to go to America as well. Where do you live in Canada? Is it in the sticks? Have you had a boyfriend before that you met? And I mean, it just doesn't seem ideal. I don't have a, you know what I would say? Is if you're going to have a relationship online for 10 months, 8 months, make sure it's casual. That it's not like, oh, we're going to get married one day. That's 0 to 100. I mean, come on. I mean, talk to some of those people because you have the time or you're bored or you like to be on the computer and you're interested in this person, but don't close the door to meeting someone else. Oh my God, so that's what he said. He starts comparing himself to my exes. What did he say? That's what he said, that he starts comparing himself to my exes? I don't understand this. It's amazing to see the growth I've done through since my terrible breakup. I was in the very lowest when I first discovered your channel. You witnessed my growth. Thank you for ongoing support. Well, thank you, Luna. I'll give you the Y from Thailand. You know, I had some guy reach out. I really appreciate those kind words, Luna, and you're a good person. I can tell that much. I know there was times during the live streams over the year and stuff you were still going through it. And you did the right thing by moving out to LV. And I remember you were thinking about moving back, but you know what? Are you still in Vegas? Is this where you met that girl? I'm having mac and cheese at the moment. Man, I loved mac and cheese as a kid, but I didn't like the Kraft kind because I used to have the powder in it. And if you ever got a bite where the powder wasn't all the way mixed in, it was done. Honestly, some people are case people pickers. What does that mean? Honestly, some people are bad case people pickers? What does that mean? I'm confused. Got 18 on deck, 9 likes. Much appreciated. Please join the Discord. Coach Mac McCarthy at Instagram, rightmac.com, etc., etc., etc. Yes, he compares himself because he hasn't met me to have the same experiences like my ex-boyfriends, like touch. He wants to kiss me, hug me. Baked mac and cheese is a different ball game. Yeah, but why are you being exclusive with someone that you're 10 months online? That would be my question. Or making marriage proposals. May I ask, this might be direct, is it a lack of confidence? Or, I mean, you know what? I'm ignorant because I've never fell in love online with someone long distance. I just can't see. I could see having something casual going on until you're able to meet, but saying that you're like exclusively with someone and possibly going to marry them? Jeez Louise. That's another level. I meant that some people are bad people pickers. Oh, okay. Like, it honestly sounds like she hasn't had much dating experience. Well, you make your own bed. That's not a statement that isn't true. You know what it is? I'm not talking about KKM in this way because I don't know you that well, KKM, but I'm glad that you're sharing. I'm glad you're joining the live stream and you're creating some commotion here. I appreciate it. He's like now saying things like, you're over in Canada, I'm in America, so it feels like he's judging me a bit. How is that judgment when you're talking about geography? I meant that some people are bad people. You know what it is, Skinner? I'm sorry, I said that earlier and I got off topic. Breathe. People aren't always bad people pickers. You know what they do? This is why it was so impressive in the live coaching session today that I had, that people don't eliminate toxic people that they identify as toxic from the get-go. So I've had this happen to me with friends before. Like years later, you're like, oh shit, this is when people are like, oh, this person was a narcissist. They did this and this and this and this to me. Manipulation's out there, a lack of life experience with individuals that you've never come across before. It's just like Skinner, If you've never dealt with an alcoholic when you were a kid in your family, and then you have one as a girlfriend, you probably don't know how to deal with them. You don't know that they're going to put the bottle first, or they're going to lie, or they're going to try to make you the bad guy. And so you're not familiar with it. So that could work two ways. It could be unacceptable to you because you're not familiar with it, or you could be easily manipulated. So sometimes it's not so simple that people just are bad people pickers. They just lack the knowledge. It's ignorance, really. They just lack the knowledge in dealing with individuals that they've never come across before, and they get fooled. Yes, he compares himself because he hasn't met me to have the same issue. Like he wants to get, okay. It's spelled right, Mac.com. Like the right way? No, WRITEMAC. Like writing. WRITEMAC as in write. He's like now saying like you're you write, he's like. It's funny. I'm still here in Vegas. I've adjusted to the change now that I met this new woman. It further convinced me to stay and start a new life here in the long run. I'm happy in a place personally. That's excellent, man. I'm really happy for you, Luna. I know you were considering moving back to LA. But you know what? You stuck with it. You're doing the best you can. And right now you got a little golden nugget, and just, don't get overly excited. Be yourself and keep dating and having a good time, man. You're wasted because someone over in America likes him too. Ghetto. Alcoholics and drug addicts. Are you asking? What are you asking me, Rob? Alcoholic and drug addicts are very simple, very similar in their manipulation approaches, I think. Some are more extreme than others. To think that I came from a 6-year breakup, losing my 2-year job, an apartment in Los Angeles in the span of 1 month, rocked me to my core. I didn't think I was ever going to recover from that. Well, cream always rises. I was wrong. It took time. Who knows? I guess this all happened for a reason or another. It all does, bro. That gave me chills. It all does. That is not a cliche statement. That's actual. That's factual. It all does happen for a reason. That's the only way you got to look at it. And you know what? The reason's always out to serve you, myself included. And I'm not saying everything's rose petals and wine glasses, peaches and cream for myself. Because when shit gets tough, I go, what are you going to do, coach? I have talks with myself. I'm like, you're the guy that gives all the advice. It's funny because I just started yoga again about 3 weeks ago. And this yoga studio I've been going to, it's tough. It's an hour and a half. The teacher challenges you. And, yogis or yoga instructors have this like really laid back, chill. And she was like rubbing her temple and she was thinking about something. I said, hey. I said, you're not supposed to be stressed out. You're a yoga teacher. And she's like, Mac, we have problems too. We have problems too. And I'm like, I know, I have problems too. It's just like being a teacher for years. Some student will be like, hey, teacher, you didn't spell that word right, did you? And I'll go, nope, I didn't, because I make mistakes too. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for pointing that out. But it does all happen for a reason. And the main thing you got to do, Luna, keep fucking moving. Keep showing up in your life. Don't be a victim. And I'm going to add this one. This is my simple statement besides keep showing up. Embrace being challenged. I got really motivated by reading. RateMike.com is my site. I got really motivated by reading You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, because the stories of his life were so fucking incredible. And the interesting thing is, when we're really complaining about something, or we're scared about something, or we think it's difficult, just reframe the whole thing to, it's a challenge. Doesn't that sound better than it's difficult? Or I can't? Because can't really means I don't want to. There's a lot. I can't fly, but I can take an airplane. See how that works? But when you get into and I'm going to use this year because Goggins, I thought this was going to be like, I got the book recommended to me, but when I read it, it was life-changing because I was like, this guy, the way he embraced challenging himself is incredible. Now, I'm not going to be a Navy SEAL, but I can challenge myself for an hour and a half of yoga and I'll tell you the truth, it's challenging as hell for me. It's tough, but it feels great when you get done with it. I heard yoga is emotionally intense. I've always wanted to try that. Go for it, Luna. I'll tell you this, though, especially if you've done running or some kind of other sports, you might be tight in the beginning. You really have to give it a month. You can't just go to one class. You gotta, and every instructor is a little different, and there's different styles of yoga. So just keep that in mind. Bikram hot yoga is pretty extreme, but that one makes you feel real good. But you got to give it like a month, and you got to go to like 20 classes in a month to really start to see if you like the benefits of it. You go to one class, it's an achievement just to finish it. But there are people out there that are naturally flexible and it just suits them. I wasn't one of them. I still can't touch my feet standing straight up. When it comes to cases like KK, I just feel like at the very least, if you're going to subject yourself to this kind of situation, put the responsibility of the outcome into yourself so you aren't a victim. That's the gospel, Skinner. Yes, rightmac.com is my website. If you want to send in your story or you want to do a live coaching session, that is available. Yoga is also good for your sexuality. It's good for your blood flow. It's good for everything. I don't know if there's anything about yoga that would be bad. I will say this, it does challenge you. I'm a very competitive person. Well, here's the thing about that, Luna. So yoga is not competitive. So I grew up playing basketball. That was always my favorite sport. I played baseball as a kid, played a little football. Not very long, but I've always been coordinated. So I could play sports quite easy, and I'm fairly competitive, especially at basketball. But when you do yoga, there's no competition in that room. It's just you doing a pose. And sometimes when I first started, I didn't like it because I'm not good at it. And nothing about it's not like I can run, hit, and catch a ball very easily. Doesn't mean I'm a great baseball player. It just means I can walk on and be decent because I'm coordinated. I've always been coordinated. But like yoga, like I said, not very flexible. A lot of the things are very difficult for me. That's why I have to do it. But there's no competition involved. You're not fighting anyone but yourself. So that's where it gets a little deep. I like to face problems head to head, even though the journey to get where I am now has sucked. No. The journey has served you, my friend. I can honestly admit it made me a stronger man. Oh, yeah. You read this Goggins story, and Goggins like, the reason I've been this way is because nobody helped me. Crisis is an opportunity. I'll tell you what, who are the most interesting people you meet? People that are seasoned, that have been through some shit, that have got through some stuff, or someone that's, inherited a load of money and they got 3 helicopters and 2 Lamborghini. Does that interest you? You think like, oh, that would be I remember I was like, that'd be great. I don't know. There's a lot of those people that aren't very happy. You're very underrated on this platform, Mac. You should have a way bigger following than you do. It's coming, Ryan. Don't you worry. Thanks for the kind words. It's coming. I'm just hitting my stride, my friend. And I had people like, oh, with the breakup coaching, you shouldn't do live streams. No, that's my thing. Thanks for the yoga take, Mac. Like I said, if you do it, one thing I like about yoga is the people in the classes. Everyone's trying to mellow out. Everyone's friendly for the most part that I've come across. Everyone embraces being healthier. There's never, like a bully or some jerk in the class. So there's some people in the class. Yeah, there's some hippie types, some kind of vegan things. But is that a good thing? I think so, actually. That's what I like about it. But it wasn't in no way Do I walk on a yoga mat and I'm like, oh, I do this really well? The only other thing I've had that with, I golfed maybe 3 or 4 times, and that was difficult. I didn't really like golf. So I don't even do it. Goggins, stop being all poopy pants and shit. You feel you're dehydrated, you're just thirsty. Somebody dies. Amazing book, man. Amazing book. You got to go through some shit in your life. You do. And what's really interesting in doing what I do and talking to so many people and unpacking? Dude, you don't know. And David Goggins talking about, you think you know people? You don't know them. People don't tell you their whole life story. If we had a timeline of Luna, Brand New Skinner, Ryan, KK, Sabina, and you guys you told me everything about yourself, your ups, your downs. I got my first bike when I was 5. When I was 8 years old, my dad left the house. When I was 10 years old, I got straight A's. When I was 12 years old, I made the basketball team. And then when I was 13, my aunt passed away. Like I did this in a public speaking course. I gave a speech like this. If I ever got a TED Talk, I would do this. And I called it Your Heartbeat. And I just went through all the highs and lows of my life till I'm 39. There was a lot. And a lot of the shit, you don't see it coming. But it's what makes you. And it's the only way you can appreciate the sweet without the sour and the sour without the sweet. It's the only way that you really get it. And the problem is all these people, and I shouldn't say all. I don't like to generalize. I preach against that. But a big thing is, we got all these people in the world that have depression or anxiety. You want to know what the big problem is? And some people are going to go, well, that's not me. You're right. There's some people that are clinically depressed. I'm with you. I'm not taking that away from you. I've had clients that told me, no, I've had it for a long time. I take medication. I'm with you. But there's also a large faction of people that are just bored and comfortable. And they don't want to make any moves. And being bored and comfortable is actually not ideal. And when you get stuck in that arena, that's when you got, sadness, or I don't like things, I don't like this. A lot of people are like, I don't want to exercise, I don't want to do this, I don't want to take any chances, I don't want to apply for this job. I don't want to do anything that's difficult. I don't want to do anything that's out of my comfort zone. That's okay. But just realize, A Man's Search for Meaning, he talks about it. Viktor Frankl, years ago. Boredom is one of man's biggest problems when they get to a certain level. Exactly. I've always been an independent individual at a very early age. For some reason, I always sought problems on my own. The breakup was no different. Thanks for your guidance as well, Mac. No problem, Luna. No problem, man. And here's the thing, dude. The beautiful thing that I look at it is a domino effect, my friend. You're going to have a moment. You got through this moment right now. And who knows with this girl? I wish you all the best. I'm ecstatic that it's going well. But if it doesn't go well, you're going to be just fine also. If it doesn't work out, you're going to be just fine also, because you got a new toolkit. You got a new outlook on life. But here's the thing, dude. What I really like, whatever you learn from me, whatever you learn from this journey that worked, you're going to have a little cousin, a friend at work, and they're going to come in and they're going to be like, and you're going to go, you all right, man? They're going to be like, I'm fine. And you know there's something wrong with that person. You look them in the eye and you go, it's either a death in the family or they had a breakup. You know that look where it's just a cold stare in the eyes where there's no feelings. I've had it being a teacher for years at the university. Kid will walk in the room. I'm like, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You want to talk about it? Yeah, me and my girlfriend just broke up. I know it right away. It's either that or a death in the family. Now, I know those are two different things, but it's blank. It's blank. It's shock. It's hurt. It's awe. And you're going to be able to, Luna's going to be able to go, hey, man, call me up. We'll talk about it for an hour. check out this guy Mac McCarthy's live streams. But you also would be there for him because you've been there before and you got through it. And the beautiful thing is you're not bitter. You're not like, oh, I hate her. Oh, she's so messed up. You're kind of like, nah, I got through the other end of the tunnel. I changed my environment. I challenged myself. I didn't sit around and be a victim. There was moments. I was a victim for a moment or two, off and on, and then I broke through. So you think my long-distance relation thing is casual or should be casual? No, I'm not telling you it's this or that. I'm telling you what is it to you. And if I were you, I'd make sure it is casual because there's no contact there. You're missing a big part of the equation of a real relationship. My whole grandparents are in heaven. I miss them. Well, God bless them. I want to be sweet. Sour is my boyfriend for not calling me because that's not love. But I know he cares and he's on what? I think that C19 makes people have mental health problems. You should book coaching session with Mac. Write your story. Thanks, Sabina. The main advice that helped me move from my ex was given to me by you, Mac. Block them. Don't look up your ex. What are you getting from that? What do you win from spying on them? That helped. Thanks, bro. Was that the name of the video? Or was that the exact term? Women are from Venus and guys are from Mars, but it could also be energy as well. Female and male gender. Well, there's feminine and masculine. That's why I asked you how old you are. You're 30. Yeah. Well, also, when someone your breakups with you the next day where they're back together, it kind of breaks trust. Absolutely breaks trust. Random. But I coached someone with a bad depression today. Tough love, straight facts approach because I went through it too. Not sure how much was processed. Are you a coach, LinderTube? Skinner always cuts through the bullshit, but he does it with finesse. Skinner cuts through the bullshit, but he's finesse with it. It's like a nice spiral from a good quarterback. Is there ever a scenario that's being patient with someone who isn't ready? Let me go back to LinderTube to address what you said. Random, but I coached someone with bad depression today. So did they ask for your help? Number one. And my approach, and I was just talking to the last person I talked to today, I really build rapport first and foremost with you as an individual and learn how you communicate. And so what a lot of times, if you're going to be coaching, sometimes you'll project onto them what works for you, which works sometimes, but people process information differently. So some people you got to tread lightly. Some people you got to be more direct. But LinderTube, if you're leading with good intentions and honesty, well, then you're doing the best you can. Is there ever a scenario that being patient with someone who isn't ready might work? What's your take on this topic? Well, I mean, patience are a virtue, and patience are something that is a good thing. It's kind of a broad question because why do you have to be patient? I mean, what's the patience about? The patience are about the person's not ready for what? For a long-term relationship? I mean, I have to know more details to it, Johnny. You want to write your story in to give you a really good take on that. Because mic check 1 2. If you can be more specific of why you're being patient. Also, is it hurting you to be patient? Do you agree with the reasons for being patient? Because then if you aren't, you're going to create contempt. And are you being patient because you don't feel like you have ability for other options? I mean, there's a lot of things I could ask with that question. That it was a quote you said to me, and I explained to you that I was checking her social media every night post-breakup. I was aching for any update on her, and to be honest, that wasn't healthy. Hell no, it isn't, dude. I just had a guy from Instagram say he posted one of my quotes on his fridge, and it was actually a pretty good quote. Block them, don't look up your ex. What you're getting from that? What do you win from spying on them? I said, do you want to be the guy in the cheap seats watching the game that you're no longer playing in? Think about that one. That's got to go in the book. Because it's like, if you've played sports before and stuff, and you go to a ball game and there's some dude that's way out of shape, he's up in the cheap seats, he's haggling the crowd, he's saying this guy's a bum, this guy, you look at him, you're like, you never even played ball before. You're up in the cheap seats, you're complaining about a game you've never even played. Don't be a spectator to your ex in their life. Because I know I'm not the most sympathetic person. And at least I want to be respectful about my viewpoint. Well, you are respectful. Like I said, you got some finesse. That's a good word for it. No coworker and personal friend or acquaintance. I notice though, Skinner, when I get a little feisty or when I get direct, you always go, yeah, I like this. I just feel like she's coming off as being way too kind about the red flags or situation. Self-control. How to improve self-discipline and strengthen relationships. Well, that's a broad topic. She has no experience with guys like him. Okay, here's the elephant in the room, KK. You're in different countries. You've never met. Anything else? I mean, you don't start a relationship in long distance. I found inner peace once I stopped looking her up. Time went by, and I began to detach from her slowly but surely. I can honestly say I've moved on to present day. Right on, Luna. Sometimes it just takes that quote at the right time. And, you know, I think one of the dynamics that hurts a lot of people is just social media in general right now. It just gives you a spying glass. And people can't help themselves. I've said it many times. If you're on a diet and you want to lose weight, don't have cake and cookies in the fridge. If you're broken up with your ex, don't have access to their social media. You don't want to know anything about them. Anything that comes up, you're going to have one puzzle piece and you're going to have an open loop and you're going to constantly go on and on about it. You're providing yourself with a lot of pain and you think that, oh, this is just happening to me, but actually your power is to block them and be done. If you seeing them on social media having a good time or with someone else hurts you, then don't allow yourself that access. I think I took my breath away starting to meet with me and signing online. Did you just talk about food? Kinda, yeah. Well, it's just water. I get a little parched when I talk this long. That's why it's good to have Aleph here and have a little break. I did 2 live coachings today. So that's about 1.5, 3. We got 1 hour here. I've done about 4 hours of talking. Is there a heartbroken anonymous IRL? I want coffee and pastries and possibly to bum a cig from a single mom during break. That's funny, dude. I didn't get it at first, but now I get it. That's funny. I know what those AA meetings are like. My dad went to them for a little bit. I think I've had to take a few friends that had DUIs to pick them up back long time ago. That's funny. Heartbroken anonymous. Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy and my heart was broken. It's like I tell people when people report how bad their ex was, you're going to file a police report or you're going to move on with your life. Because they're not going to jail for breaking your heart. But overall, today's story was great, Mac. It's obvious the guy isn't emotionally stable to start a long-distance relationship. Linda, that's great. We got 18 on deck. We got a little crew out there today. I thought this would be a little bit late for people. KK, where you at in the world? Luna's in Vegas. Sabina's in Austria. Rob, are you still even on deck? Skinner, Chicago. Nick's in Minnesota, I want to say. Dayon, I forgot. Rita Rose is in NY, if I remember correctly. New York's finest. Lala's in Oregon, I believe. Rob's in Canada. Maybe people are just listening today, huh? Mary's checked in a couple times. Well, I mean, you don't want to give a specific part of Canada? It's a pretty big country. Oh, wow, that's great. It's been a while since I've seen her on deck. Nah, she's good, man. She's good. Anyone have any closing questions? I think it's about that time to go to the beach. It's 3:15 p.m. for me on December 31st. So we got New Year's Eve coming up tonight. Nothing special planned. She just left 6-year-long relationship, and she likes me as much as I like her, but she's not ready to take things serious. She's not ready to take things serious at 6 years? Would being patient for her to be ready to work on this situation? What? She likes me as much as I like her. What does that even mean? But she's not ready to take things serious. You're in a 6-year-long relationship and you're describing your feelings as liking each other? Sorry, Johnny. It should be some love involved in there. And at the highest level, some unconditional love. If someone at 6 years goes, yeah, I don't really want to be serious. Okay, did she say that she needs time to think about it? How old are you two, Johnny? Boogie down. Rita Rose got it. I saw you on Instagram. You can sing, Rita. Go for you. I was just at a party last night. I don't sing. I don't sing well. I've only sung like twice in my life, if not Happy Birthday. But yeah, they were singing all night, and they had a little Filipino band. They were excellent, man. Get out there. New Year's afternoon. Thanks for entertainment, acknowledgement of existence. Happy 2021, everyone. Right on, LinderTube. LinderTube, do you have a YouTube channel? Is that why it's called LinderTube? Samina, do you have a husband? Jeez, that's direct. Mac, you misread his message. She just left a 6-year-long relationship. So let me look at it again. I did understand it wrong? Okay. She likes me as much as I like her, but she's not ready to take things serious. Would being patient for her to be ready to work the situation? Mac, you understood that wrong with Johnny. She just left a 6-year relationship. What did I understand wrong? What did I say wrong? Maybe it's catching up to me that I've been on for 4.5 hours. No. She left a 6-year relationship shortly after we started talking. And thank you. No, she left a 6-year relationship. See, you're right. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I got to get some lunch. No, she left a 6-year relationship shortly after we started talking, and early 20s. Okay. Well, if she just got out of a 6-year relationship, just back off, continue to date, leave the door open, and continue to leave the door open for you to meet other people. If I were you, I wouldn't want. Was there major baggage? Was there abuse prior to? Did the guy cheat on her? My birthday's February 1st. So I got a month. The girl Johnny is dating. I got it now. Thanks, Johnny, for that. I mean, I don't know if you want to be with someone because any kind of baggage or wreckage from that 6-year relationship, she might need to heal from that. So but I wouldn't wait around if you're in your early 20s to someone to figure that out. That could take a year. If she's in her early 20s and she's good looking, she probably wants to see what it's like to be single for a little bit. Don't most people, like, especially in your 20s, if you go single, tell me I'm wrong, Rita Rose, in your 20s, early 20s at that, don't you, like, at some point, if you got some confidence, want to go, I want to see what this single thing's like. Even if you meet someone good looking and you're attracted to them, you just got out of a 6-year relationship, you want to sow some oats, I think. Just saying. Just saying. Here's another link to the Discord if you guys want to join. That's something psychological. Yeah, I was with a ex-boyfriend for about 6-7 years for living, and another for that long too, but not living with him. Very true. I've went on countless dates with 8 different women before I met this new girl. It takes time. It does. That's what was. I'm sorry to repeat myself, but the coaching I had this morning, it was beautiful because this guy met a woman online he was excited about. They hooked up. They had some intimacy. Red flag, red flag, red flag. He goes, then I blocked her. It was beautiful because it was like he's not going to get entangled in the net. That's actually major growth. Addition by subtraction. You know what I mean? It's like what he did was actually the right thing to do. That's growth in dating, like realizing, like, yeah, this is not someone I want to be with long term, so I'll just cut it right now, and it's going to be drama filled. Done. Don't go to lunch with your yogis. You'll get stuck with avocado toast and kombucha in the Bay. I'm from the Bay. I like kombucha and avocado toast. I like salad now. That's funny, man. I'm not bad about it, though. I'm not one of those people that will go on and, you know what I mean? I won't ruin someone's meal, but where I live now, we like our healthy food. But today I had a banana honey crepe with 3 fried eggs, bacon, mango, some apple, and a coffee. So, but I like, that's funny. What part of the Bay you in, Linder Tube again? You know I'm from San Mateo, right, originally? Empty Soul, shoot. Sabina says, I like meat. Go for you. Sabina, yeah, I know what I want, and I saw some things considered as a red flag. I respectfully cut them off. That's half your battle, is not getting in a bad relationship that's manipulative, time wasting, or detrimental to you feeling good about yourself. I'm hungry again. I had a banana too. Okay. Empty Soul, go ahead and shoot. We'll close out with you. Maybe we can fill your soul. I know what you mean, though. Vegan just got huge, right? My favorite food's probably tacos. Had tacos last night, actually. Addition by subtraction? Ooh, profound. Thanks, Rita Rose. But I mean, I think it's one of those things, as you get wiser, eliminating people quicker. I'd say the same thing for friends or job opportunities where you're like, this just isn't for me. Banana gives an easy energy but makes you fast hungry. Okay. Empty Soul, you want to shoot that question? Okay. Right when I said it. So the date is set for Saturday night, and she has been spam texting me the last few days. Anyway, she asked me if I love her completely randomly. 'Cause I love her. 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 'C this is just someone that wants to go on a date, that would be a huge red flag. That's extremely needy. Some guys like needy women, but I don't. Spamming and then asks if you love her. Is this a date with your ex or is this a date with someone new? I really like the fact that Mac openly advises to go on dates regardless if they're good or bad. It's an opportunity for you to discover new people and see what it is. You can get a friend from a date. You can be like, oh, you know what? I'm not that attracted to this person, but I'm going to finish off the date. It's not a total loss. Do you want to avoid trauma? Good question, huh? 15 on deck, 10 likes. Donations are appreciated. Thank you, Luna. Hour and a half in, doing my duty for the... It's the ex, 3 months since breakup, 2-year relationship. I mean, is that attractive to you? Is that a question you want to answer now? So that tells me that she's extremely needy right now and she wants to go 0 to 100. She doesn't want to rebuild anything. Did you break up with her? Did she break up with you? And what do you really want? It sounds like, you know, like, do you want her back? Did she leave you? What were the circumstances? I don't know. But it sounds like it's going to be a drama fest. If it's starting that way, it's probably going to end that way. It's going to continue that way. My response, how about you ask me that Saturday night she left me? Yes, I'm still interested in her for sure. Well, just let it play out then. It sounds a little suspect to me, but maybe that's how your relationship was. Is she naturally needy? It sounds like she's definitely interested in getting back with you, but she's trying to put you in her frame. Like, well, before we go out, do you love me? It's like, can we go out on a date? I would say tread lightly, empty soul. Keep your options open. Don't jump right back into things. Don't ask, you know, be in the moment. Whenever you go back out with your ex and you're trying to revisit things, just have a good time. Leave with good intentions, honesty. See if you can have a good date and have another date. Don't jump into getting back together. If the problems that were there before or they try to make you feel guilty about things they haven't forgave you for, call it a day. Mac Nap. Thanks, Linder. I'm a hopeless romantic. In a 10-month long-distance relationship online, I don't know if that qualifies as romantic, to be honest with you. You guys setting up candles and wine glasses while you're talking online? It was a great stream, folks. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. I don't know where you guys are at in the world, but yeah, it's got to be curtains soon. I got a little bit of a dry throat here, and that's dangerous these days, isn't it? A little hoarse. All right, folks. It was great. It was grand. It was good. It was curtains. Luna, thanks for the kind words. Sabina, you are always welcome on my live stream. I really appreciate you. KKKM. I shouldn't say KKK. KKM, welcome. Thanks for sharing your stuff. Empty Soul, wish you all the best on that date. Extremely needy. Yep, that was my full intention. Live in the moment. Thank you, good sir. Get some rest. Why do I look that tired? Take it easy, folks. Curtains.